Long time no see, Hot Wheels collectors. It is very, very rare that I buy Hot Wheels that are supposed to actually look realistic. Mainly because they generally don't look that realistic to me. I think for the main line, the price is fine. But I find the price of premiums a little bit ridiculous considering you buy a Mini GT that to me looks far more realistic. And it's still a toy because Mini GTs still rule. But I love this car, the Fiat 131. It won a few World Rally Championships back in the day, and this is, I guess, the homologation version where normal people could buy it and drive on the street. I believe this came out in 2024. It's 305, and I guess they're the other ones in the wave. Oh, interesting. Anyways, so here's some images of this thing. Yeah, like I say, if you look at this image, it has 4-spoke gold wheels. So the choice here made by Hot Wheels is not bad at all, if you don't want to modify it. And they also have these fog lights. Okay, but what's missing, what's quite obviously missing, are these giant rectangles with the turn signals and these auxiliary lights. Like, this would not be a street legal car without those lights, and Hot Wheels skipped it. Which is really strange. Very, very strange. Like, that's such an obvious thing to me. But they did get the vent, the side vent there, right? And they also have the black swatch there on that. This one doesn't have it. They also have the black, I guess that's a C-pillar vent details. So I guess that's not so bad. This one has, I think those are Chromadora wheels or something. It's got a black door handle. There's some sort of marker above this fender flare, and I guess they just couldn't fit it in on this Hot Wheels. Rear view, they did get the wing, and they have a fuel filler. Alright, so what I suspect is this casting is a rally car casting. And maybe the rally cars don't have those lights, but I kind of feel like they do. I'll have to look back at my other collection of this car. Alright, let's get this cardboard out of here, get a different angle, and see what other details I can point out. So again, the wheels are fine as far as their choice, but I'm gonna probably swap those out. This is a really crude paint job. It's like the casting was thrown into a rock tumbler before they painted it, and or there's just not enough paint, right? The whole thing looks like an orange peel, like really bad. Alright, some black here. They do have the printed on side markers there. There's a bump there though. I think other versions might have a light there. Other versions of cars, that is. Real cars. So the windows are recessed. The black printing of the molding is okay, I suppose. Yeah, that oddly is correct. I wouldn't expect the black to be on the outside surface of this vent, but it is on that front 3/4 view. So I guess that makes sense. So there's a round, probably an Abarth badge, but I don't think you're going to see it at this size. It's not, I guess they tried. Another issue I have with Premium is the graphics are worse than the main lines. The main lines have just standard tampos, like this would just be all black or all gray. But these Premiums have this weird pixelization technology that makes it look like it's covered in fabric. It's just really strange. So it's obvious to me that the fender flares are part of a separate piece, perhaps underneath this casting. They're probably, they're plastic. They're not metal. You can really see that orange peel now. Okay, so what I do like about the brand, even though these are pixelated, again, headlights from the main line would be better. These are very pixelated, but they have the reflections and artifacts of a light bucket. There is supposed to be a Fiat there, but it's pixelated. The grill is pixelated. Sadly, there's no black paint there. It's a pretty obvious vent. More obvious than the side, I think. They kind of cheaped out. Oh my goodness, look at this paint job. Well, I am reminded why I don't buy Hot Wheels. Anyways, you got some bumps with some black there. This is all filled in with something, a lot of paint, or I kind of feel like there should be grooves there. The black out here, oh wow, is this a defect? Yeah. Oh, so there's extra metal, and then I just chipped off the paint off because of that extra metal, so that's not good. Okay, that little extra wing is molded in, that's fine. This rear wing is molded in, that's fine. And this is nice, so you could read Abarth, Rally, and then you have some sort of lensing detail on those backup lights. Those colors look okay, but again, they're pixelated. And it's nice to have something on the license plate. That's supposed to say Fiat. I don't know what that would be for. And I think that's an Abarth badge. Alright. So there's some exhausts here. I think this might be a metal base. It is cool to the touch. And it's nice that they tell you, what it is. A lot of other brands seem to fail telling you what the thing you're holding in your hand is. It's so obvious. So it's a good thing about these guys. So obviously this is a toy. It's going to roll. I just now have to find some wheels that I want to put on this. I saw many from non-Abarth ones that are interesting. Yeah, let's just see what happens. Alright, so I'm back here, and these particular 5-spokes are called ATS wheels. They have been found on this particular car. I'll show some images at the end here. And then I decided to do another wheel. This is by Campagnolo. I think about the bicycle parts company, but there's some 8 spokes there, which have been on the WRC rally cars and stuff. So that's it. I didn't do anything else because it's already got all the efforts except for those vents, which are clearly missing. That's such a big embarrassment, not only to Hot Wheels, but Fiat, for even approving this model, not having those pretty distinguishable lights on the face of this thing. So, they're the images of the real wheels there. So that's the Alitalia thing. So, and then the ATS wheels. Let's pull out a couple other models. This is by Kyosho, and it has these 4 spokes. And then CM's, which is sadly no longer around, not to be confused with CM model, CM apostrophe S. That's a bit of a bigger casting, and it's got also those 4 spokes. I would assume the Kyosho's more accurate. Just, I mean, those fender flares are so big. I don't think they would have been that big back then. And then I do have the 2 Matchbox, which are clearly huge. And this has the more popular wheels. I think they're called Chromadoras. I forget which model of Chromadora. And then here are those 4 spokes again. So I 3D printed those for the Matchbox. I gotta say, yeah, I mean, the Hot Wheels is much closer to the 1/64 scale, obviously, than the Matchbox cars. So I suppose that's probably a logical choice, because most people are probably collecting 1/64. I don't really care if it's really accurate. I just stopped caring about Hot Wheels as far as accuracy goes. You just get, when you've been around this hobby long enough, you just accept the brand for what it is. My only major problem I have with this particular model is this giant chunk of paint missing because of the poor, casting process, or they just throw things around. And then even if that wasn't there, look at that orange peel. It literally looks like an orange. So I might put this up for sale one day, but only if I can find one in person with a nicer paint job, because I'm not going to mail order another one and have this same problem. So as mentioned earlier, I feel like Hot Wheels premiums just really aren't worth it compared to like Mini GT. They're just simply outclassed because they're trying to design things for 3-year-old children, whereas Mini GT doesn't have that concern. So if you still want a rolling toy, I would suggest you should just buy Mini GTs. But until Mini GT comes out with this casting, this might be the only less expensive alternative. I would actually like this to be made in resin. It has flat enough windows that I don't think they would pop off in the future. That's a concern of mine with the resin models. Sure, they have high detail, but I just discovered one of my Bugatti resins has a popped windshield now because there's so much tension in the windshield. That's a whole different matter. All right, well, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next Hot Wheels review. But it might be a tuned car.